hello. For religion today, there's not going to be an assignment specifically. It's just you need to listen to this video and see what we're going to talk about for religion. So in the past couple of weeks, we've been talking about God and what he means to us. And just last week, we talked about baptism, and some of you might remember. So baptism is when you are welcomed into the church and something's poured on you, and I hope you remember what it is. That was a super important gift from God, and we use it every day when we wash our hands or when we shower or to keep us hydrated. We drink from it, and it's water. So water is used for baptism, and baptism welcomes us into the church. So today we're going to talk about how God speaks to us in silence. And you're like, Miss Losi, that sounds like the craziest thing you could ever say to me. What do you mean he speaks to us in silence? So like sometimes when we're talking to God, when we're praying to God, we don't always hear God talk to us back. So he's talking back to us in silence or showing us through actions how he cares for us and how he loves us. So that's kind of what we're going to talk about more today, of how there's different ways that we can talk to people instead of just talking to them. There's motions that we can do or things that we can do for them to show them that we care. So at baptism, like we talked about last week, there's some stuff that symbolizes God's love for us, and it doesn't speak to us, right? It's just little objects or things that represent God, such as the water, or you wear a baptismal robe, or it's usually white, so you wear all white to be entered into a new life is what it symbolizes. And there's also a candle that is lit during baptism. So these things tell us that we are Christians who have God's life in us, even though they don't use words. So that's kind of what I talk about when I say God speaks to us in silence, is things represent God and his love for us, and we see it everywhere we go. Like we talked about the holy symbols a couple weeks ago, like the crucifix and the rosary, and Mary just sitting over there. She's a symbol of God and his love for us. So there are many ways to give someone a message. The first one that we can think of course, is just talking to someone, saying, hello, how are you? And seeing how they are doing. Or there's another way, which is like using your hands, or like what we do every morning is when you come into the classroom, I give you a greeting, like an elbow bump, a foot bump, a hip bump, just a wave, or an air hug, or what are our other greetings? Ooh, I can't think of them. But those are other ways that we greet each other every morning. So it's not, we're not using words specifically, we're doing actions to show each other that we're saying hello, that we care for each other, that we want to know what's going on. Another way you can show people that you care about them without using words is just a simple smile. And I know it's really hard right now with the masks and everything that's going on, but just smiling at another person shows them that you love them, that you care for them. And with the masks, you can still smile under the mask. It's all in your eyes a little bit. So when you smile, your eyes get a little scrunched up, and some eyes look different than others when they're smiling. But like that's another way to see. I mean, you really have to focus on if someone's giving you a smile, but right now it's just a little tricky. So that's why we just do the elbow bumps, foot bumps, hip bumps, waving, and things like that. Another way, which a lot of you guys have done for me, is by drawing a picture or writing a little message to someone. So like here on my wall right here, I'll pull off one that Bree gave me. So it's just a simple little thing. She drew some flowers. She said, I love you, Miss Losi, and she signed her name. So this is something really simple that you can do to show someone that you love them, is by giving them a little picture or a little message. And I'll show you how crazy my wall looks of all the things you guys have given me. So that really shows me how much you love me and care for me, and that makes me feel really special inside. So that's a way that God also communicates with us, or that you can communicate with others about how you love them without just speaking. And God usually only shows us ways that he loves us through actions, through things that he can do for us, and not just talking to us. So I think that's really important to know, that it doesn't, like, God's not talking to you all the time, but he's there for you and he loves you. And that's what's very important, is he loves you because he created you. And it's really special, the relationship that we all have with God. And I hope you guys really reflect on that today, and I hope you have a good day.